Hello, and I am back here on the channel. It is the most electrifying, earth-shaking, groundbreaking, better believe your bacon, electrifying man in sports entertainment slash YouTube entertainment. Hey, trademarked by The Rock. Anyways, if you think I have a weird camera angle, it's because I do. I'm actually literally traveling while I shoot this video. So if you hear some weird, nonsensical stuff in the background, maybe me screaming at someone, you're getting the full experience of me very dangerously driving and taping a YouTube video. But that's what I do on the channel. I do new things. I do new things because, you know, I'm here for you, the fans. Anyways, I wanted to talk about something today. And if I don't read your comments, it's because I'm afraid of crashing and dying. Thank you, Star Wars Wookiee. Thank you. Also, if I sound have a progressively bad cold that I am fighting, but because I love you, the fans, I'm still going to shoot. And if you like gravelly voice, please give me a thumbs up or leave a comment below. Anyways, I'm here to talk about something that I wanted to get off my chest before the eagle lands. Thank you, Star Wars Wookiee. I want to talk about the new Netflix deal. It's been buzzing on the internet, and apparently Brie Larson, my favorite actress, if you heard my rant, and if you haven't, it's called I Finally Ran About Brie Larson. Netflix has made a movie with Brie Larson. And now look, I am not a Brie Larson defender. I have been very vocal about this and how she conducts herself. But every movie I look at as a movie and not necessarily as the actor portraying or the actor who's playing in the movie. If we looked at the actors who do these films, we would probably not watch anything. Because all of these guys are pompous and on their high soapbox, except for Keanu Reeves. You guys know how I feel about John Wick, and Keanu Reeves in real life, stand-up guy, does good stuff, okay? There's a few good actors and actresses out there, okay? But let me get down to Brie Larson. Now, I have a friend at work, and she is into unicorns. And if she ever watches my videos, leaves comments, which this is to you, you know who you are, she will be thrilled about this Netflix movie coming out. And I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it for one reason. Because the concept looks interesting, and Brie Larson does have the capability to show emotion. And this film's trailer proves that she has a range of an emotion. And the concept's really wacky. I don't know, it's about unicorns. And I was watching the trailer, and I don't know if she wants to open up a store with unicorns or something like that. But I don't know why. The concept really grabs me. So I will rate it here for you guys on the channel and let you know what it's all about. But I wanted to touch on this because I just watched a video with Jeremy. I just watched a video with Jeremy touching on this, and I watched a few different people talking about it. And look, we all hate Brie Larson. As a person, I think she's the single worst human being on this earth. Okay, her politics, I hate her SJW. Not quite possibly, she might be the craziest person I've ever heard talk. All right, but as an actress, I watched movie Room, not The Room, which is the single worst movie of all time / best movie to mock of all time. Room was a good movie, okay? She deserved the nod that she got. Thank you, $3 slice. I'm being multitasking talented here, live stream whilst driving in my car. So if you hear, oh God, please because I'm probably crashing, trying to drive and stream for you guys. But that's what you get on the channel. A clap for the car video. Thank you, Wookie. But here's the thing: Brie Larson can act. Is a sad fact. Okay, she's a good actress in there, and it's like Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise went nuts, went on a Scientology bit. We all know the Oprah jumping on the couch deal. And he's a crazy person in real life. But you can't take away the fact that he's one of the greatest Ethan Hunts of all time. I will watch every single Mission Impossible movie. He's just a good actor. Now, Brie Larson, I don't think she really cares about the MCU whatsoever at all. But she does have passion as an artist. And that's where it's here, because she can really act, and yet what she says ruins any possibility that anyone has of watching her in anything. And I think that's what it is. And people, when you come out and you defend her, you are destroying her credibility. So stop being morons and tweeting things, okay? Because what's happening is these companies that are defending her are actually hurting her credibility as an artist. Because coming to her defense, like no one I've ever seen, right? They're coming to her defense and they are going, oh, this movie is the greatest movie of all time. It's not even out yet. Let us judge it. This is the whole debate, okay? This is why people hate Brie Larson, because you guys are propping her up. If she's as good as everyone says she is, then let her act. Let her act. I watched the trailer, and honestly, it looked like a pretty interesting concept. It looked like something. And I talk about this in my reviews all the time. The thing that I respect is when Hollywood puts out something I haven't seen. And I did a whole comparison on how Netflix is putting out better content than the industry. So if you're getting these actors and actresses that have this capability, don't shill for them, okay? Let their work, let their product speak for themselves. And if it's good, we will watch it. We'll watch it, okay? But when you sit there and piss off a base, then no one's going to want to watch it. Not because of whether or not it's a good film, but they're going to do it because they're so angry that you are shilling so hard for this person. I mean, that's just people makeup, okay? These Hollywood elitists seem to think that protecting people is going to make us interested. Look, if we went on how people were ridiculed, no one would ever be watched, okay? Jeremy brought up a good point, and I want Ben Affleck, okay? Did Ben come out and say, you guys hating on me? You guys are all trolls? No. He was just like, yeah, it's a Hollywood sick mind. They really think that they need to protect these in the Me Too movement. They need to just shelter these women. And the funny part is the Me Too movement's supposed to be about diversity, and they're sheltering this really blonde hair, blue eyes girl that no one likes. It's astonishing. What about the actress from Alita? Anyone want to take up for her? What about Gal Gadot and the comparisons you're making to her? Nope, no one wanna take up for her and her stellar acting? No, they don't meet the criteria because they're not preaching the politics. And quite honestly, it's the reason why Brie Larson is single-handedly becoming the most hated person in the industry right now. It's because they are shilling hard for her like any of us has ever seen in our lives. Now, back to the movie, because I got off track with my rant. It looks creative. I like the color palettes that they're using. I love Samuel L. Jackson. Despite what he says, I don't know. He's just got the charisma. I'll watch anything that he's in. I even watched a anime movie that he was in that was called Kite. One of my favorite animes. It was a terrible movie, but I single-handedly watched it just for Samuel L. Jackson, because I just love the kind of presence that he brings to a film. And this one looks like a out-of-the-box role for him. So, you know, I liked the color choice. I liked how it looked. It kind of looks like really psychedelic in its depiction. I like the overall theme that they seem to be playing on about this person having a kind of out-of-the-box dream to make it come true. I can respect that, because a lot of people tell you with different jobs and fields you want to go into, oh, you can't do that because it's not what society says. And I respect what the film is trying to put out there, because when I started in martial arts, people told me I was nuts. And when you first start out, the hard truth is you can't make a lot of money until you put your time in. So, I mean, I really respect the kind of things this movie is putting out. Now, if it has identity politics in it or something like that, I'll be the first one to let you guys know. But just from the trailer, I'm sensing a sort of vibe where it's telling people they can do and they can be whatever they want to, if they try, if they follow their dream, no matter how crazy that dream is. And you know what? I like that. I like that concept. From a film perspective, it looks intriguing. So I'm not going to get on the hate train yet. You guys know. I saw Captain Marvel not once, but twice. And anyone who hasn't made me a medal yet, you should start crafting one, because I think I deserve some kind of medal for seeing that movie twice. Okay? Yeah, let me tell you something, Wookie. When I was doing that review, it took everything I had. It literally took everything I had to review that from an objective film perspective, and not for the seething hatred I have for just that movie. So, I mean, you know, but that's what you do as a real critic. You suck it up and you watch a film based on the film's merits, and not the actor, and not how much you're getting paid, or what kind of press credentials you're going to get, because I don't get nothing. You know, I work 2 jobs. I'm not getting any kind of a reward. My satisfaction comes from you guys listening to me talk. So that's about all I get out of it. Anyways, I think Netflix is making. I think they're going to continue. Yeah. And it was really weird when I saw the trailer and I saw all the pain on her face and stuff. I am intrigued. I'm intrigued because I'm seeing the side that I saw in Room, where she can have a funny kind of different range of emotion kind of side to her. It's there. It's hidden under craziness. But I think when she likes the role, she can be a consummate actress. And this is the sad part of most of these people in Hollywood, is that they're letting the politics really bog down their abilities, their creativity. So I will watch it, and I will review it as a reviewer and as a person who enjoys watching good movies. And to my point, I think Netflix is doing something clever, where they're getting all these actors and actresses, no matter how hot they are, you know, good or bad. Netflix is really making a big play for entertainment. And I think they know that Disney is nipping on their heels now with this streaming deal, with this Fox merger, and I'm going to make a video about it. With this Fox merger, which, thank you. With this Fox merger, I personally think that a lot of people in entertainment are scared because Disney is consolidating and they are really monopolizing the entertainment industry as much as they can, and they're becoming a powerhouse. And I think you're going to see a lot of companies start to try to take Disney down. Because here's the thing, whether we personally hate or like them, whether we respect them or not, for all of the things that they've pulled with Star Wars or the MCU, one thing that we can't take away from them business wise, they are making smart choices with what they're acquiring, and they're cornering the market. And now the market's getting scared. The market is getting nervous because if Disney recoups the money, and if in fact the streaming site is as big as everyone predicts, and they start going into Netflix realm, Netflix is going to need some heavy hitters. They're going to need people backing their products and really coming forward for the company, because Disney is coming, and they're coming hard. So me personally, yeah, the death of inspiration in movies. I agree. Me personally, I am against monopolies. I'm not against company growth. As a matter of fact, my business are the business I'm a part of, but I consider my business because I instruct or whatever. I'm a chief instructor. I want to own a school one day. In my line of work, you've got to expand. Okay, expansion is a natural part of business, and so I understand it from a business perspective. But at the same time, there was a reason why monopolies were banned, because monopolies would take over the market and there'd be no competition except for within that monopoly. So I support Netflix from that point of view. However, with their politics as well, and half of Netflix, if you look at their shows, are very politically based. I don't always agree with everything that they put out. And now here's the problem. You're trying to choose the less of two evils. You got Disney that's going full-blown SJW. Yeah. You got Disney that's going full-blown SJW, and then you've got Netflix that have been dabbling in left-leaning politics for years now. So, like I said, I'm half in and half out on the business aspect. This is what I think is a problem. No one is reining in Disney because of its brand of being a family company. No one wants to rein them in. Yes, Amazon. Amazon's a good company too. And now, to your point, Star Wars Wookiee, here becomes a problem. Is that if Disney gets into streaming and they're successful, Amazon is sort of the newest kid on the block. They haven't been around as much as Netflix. Hulu, we might as well just say, is a part of Disney now. So Disney essentially will have two platforms against one and one, because Amazon does have Amazon Prime and their shipping and things like that. So I guess you can kind of say they have a second platform. And Netflix just has Netflix. So Netflix has been destroying the competition so far. They've been the highest streaming service. They're known as the king of streaming. And I think this play to get high-powered actors is their way of cementing their platform. And I think their play to get Brie Larson to do something for them is a smart move. It's a smart move, because what's going to happen is, whether you like or hate her, they're going to be talked about, and it's all about the buzz. I can't remember who said it, but someone once said, no publicity is bad publicity. So no matter how you look at it, if you're being promoted, good or bad, people are talking about you, which is making you relevant. So actually, this is quite a brilliant move on Netflix's part. And just think about how how actually in Disney's face this is, because this is Captain Marvel. They essentially took Captain Marvel to do a movie, and it's like if you know the deal between Disney and Netflix when they had the MCU there, it ended ugly. They didn't give us the specifics, but that was ugly. Netflix canceling their shows was more about, it wasn't about ratings. I think there's something behind the scenes between Netflix and Disney that we're not privy to. And I have a feeling that Disney was kind of playing hardball with them. Yeah, yeah. I think Amazon. I think honestly, I think Amazon will be okay. Amazon has, like I said, Amazon has another other platforms where even if they don't make it streaming, or even if it becomes like a war, they don't have to really worry. They can hold out. And I equate this war to what uh, WWE was. Okay, back in the day, WWE used to have a lot of competition. And if you look at the wrestling landscape now, there's nothing. Either it's owned by WWE or it's too small to make a difference. And what happened was you had three big competitors. You had WCW, which was owned by Ted Turner. You had the ECW, which was owned by Paul Heyman. And you had WWE, which was owned by the most brilliant businessman of our time, and I will headlock anyone who disagrees with me, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Vince was smart. Vince did something that no one thought of doing. He knew he was in competition with three different companies. So he decided that he was going to go to war with them and that he was going to focus on his biggest rival, WCW. But yet ECW was doing something different that no one else was doing. They were doing extreme wrestling. So what did WWE do? Vince took a jab at both of them. He started having hardcore, out of the box matches in WWE to compete with ECW. And then he started taking shots at WCW. And it became known as the Monday Night Wars. Every Monday night it'd be Nitro or it'd be Raw. And as a fan, you had to choose. And the fan bases were both rabid for both shows. And I watch WCW sometimes because Goldberg was my favorite wrestler. I love Bill Goldberg. And I watched WWE for like The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, all those. And by the end, he forced both companies to do poor business decisions to keep up with them because WWE had built capitals for years so they can take risk. Does this sound familiar? They built capital for years so they can take risks. And then finally, WCW, due to poor business choices, started losing their wrestlers. They started losing their wrestlers to WWE. Then you had Vince buying these wrestlers contracts. So what happened was WCW paid these guys astronomically. They couldn't afford what they were paying them. So what Vince did is he slid in and said, well, you can't afford this contract, so I'll use my money and I'll buy out the rest of this wrestler's contract. He'd shelf them, make a new contract, and it'd be cheaper than what they were getting paid over at WCW. So this is what Disney's doing. Disney is doing the Vince McMahon. They are buying out these IPs. They're buying these actors and actresses. They're paying a little bit more, but they're hooking them into longer deals so that other companies can't grab them up. So they're locked in these contracts. And then what they're doing is they're writing out the contract. And so what if one actors or actresses a movie doesn't do well? They still have the contract. They can still sprinkle them in and wherever they want because contractually they're obligated to appear in their films. And it's quite brilliant. So now you have a situation where no one can get their hands on these IPs and Disney can bury them in a vault, and they're essentially doing nothing. And that was the war with Fox. Fox had the rest of Marvel, or some core groups, and they locked it up. But Fox didn't have the capital to hold out, and they suffered for it. Hence why Disney and the Fox merger happened, because Fox couldn't financially battle them anymore. Yeah, that's exactly the point. And this was why I said the deal sucks, because I knew from a business perspective where this was going. I knew it. I said that as soon as they absorb Fox, these things are going to happen. Now, I'm a gamer too, and I play Marvel Strike Force. It's one of my favorite games. And now everyone in my gaming community is worried. I mean, we've literally, all of us, and I'm not a whale, but the people who are whales in these games have sunk over at least thousands of dollars into this game, right? And I know myself, this year alone, I probably have done $200 or $300 on a mobile game, and I hate myself for it. But think about all those people who are spending the money in these games. Now, Disney doesn't care about games. They've stated it. They've destroyed good games that they had out. They don't care. They don't care about the gaming industry. It means nothing to them because it is not where their money is made. So now that they've acquired Fox, and FoxNet is a offshoot of the Fox company and was funded by them, Marvel Strike Force is worried. It started upcharging and everything else, and there were a lot of backlash for that. They gave EA the license again. Ugh, I really hope not. I hate EA games. I hate them so much. Their microtransactions is such garbage. Such garbage. EA as a company is like the Ryan Johnson of games. I view them as like the devil. They used to be so good until they became so greedy. And this is the problem with the corporations. It's terrible. I it makes me sick. I can't. I physically can't stand it. But getting back to this Netflix thing. Yeah. Tell me about it. I used to play the Star Wars mobile game. I used to play it. I used to love it. And then the transactions got so bad on it. It's like you can't get character growth unless you buy into it. You can't. You can't keep up with anyone unless you're at least spending like $100 a week on that game. I mean, it's ridiculous. And this is the problem with these corporations that we're dealing with right now. And now, tying all this into the Netflix Brie Larson film, I want to say my thing with this film is I am for Netflix taking any kind of jab that they can towards Disney. And I think that Brie Larson doesn't care about her contracts with Disney, which, hey, I commend you on that, Brie. Don't be tied down, because I give it about a couple of years before you become irrelevant. Secondly, I think this is a smart move because she has now opened up another platform for herself to be on. Should something happen where, I don't know, in the grand scheme of things, Brie Larson becomes less relevant. Should something happen, she will now have a new platform to do movies and things like that on, and to extend her shelf life, which I can't fault that kind of thinking. This movie's going to get a lot of watches. That's just a fact. This movie's going to get a lot of watches for two reasons. One, for some strange reason, people seem to like Captain Marvel, so I can't take that away from the film. And two, because of how many stupid things she says a day, she's going to be watched out of curiosity. Just out of curiosity. Or maybe even watched for pure hatred, just so people can make fun of her projects. And like I said, no publicity is bad publicity, so people are still going to tune in. Yeah, exactly. Meryl Streep is a great example of this notion. That woman is horrendous. The things she says, oh, She has attacked America in general. I hate Meryl Streep as a person, but as an actress, I can't take it away from her. She's a great actress. And that's what it is, you know. If you can actually pull off the roles you're in, people will still watch your stuff. And I mean, even for mediocre acting, people still came and saw Captain Marvel. I think it's knocking on the billion door. I'm really hoping Us dethrones this movie from the number one spot. But even if she gets knocked down to number two, she hasn't had that big of a drop in the box office yet. So it's like, I don't win either way. Um, the thing with Netflix though is that she's gonna get the views. She's gonna get the hits. She's gonna get people watching this movie just to say how was she in this film. I mean, because she's had so much controversy and her acting has been called so bland that when she comes out with a passion piece, people are gonna want to tear it apart. And if she's really acting good, then people may not even acknowledge that. They just want to rip this woman apart. And honestly, I don't blame them. She created this own hatred. So now you got to deal with it. So I think Brie Larson on Netflix, it's a smart play. I think it'll be an intriguing movie. I think a lot of people are going to post things about how much they hate it. I don't know if I'm going to be one of those people. I know I will do what I always do and give you guys a fair review from a movie standpoint, and I'll let you know how good it is. But yeah, this all ties into what I was talking about. Netflix is a smart company. They want to get the hottest actors and actresses. They want to grow their platform and they want to make a push for the entertainment industry. And you know what? I support that. Someone needs to take Disney down a couple of pegs. And I've been waiting for a company to do it, and no one's got the means to. No one's got the IPs to. It's insane. And these nostalgia pieces keep on pulling people back in. And don't get me wrong, um, the Watcher series, I will watch it because that's one of my favorite games. Look, I think it's taken a lot of flack. And as hardcore gamers, which Star Wars Wookiee, I could tell you do gaming, buddy. And with hardcore gamers, look, we're a very niche audience. And to be honest with you, we can be kind of douchebaggy with the way that we want our games to be portrayed. It's why game movies don't do well, because we're a very particular audience and Hollywood hasn't cracked that code yet. We're a very particular audience when it comes to our game adaptations. You don't mess with the gamer community because we have the power to tank really terrible products. And that's why the gaming industry hasn't been as bad with the SJW politics, because every time they release something like that, we come out and yeah, we come out in force and we let our voices be known. So that is at least one piece of entertainment I still have, because they can't get these developers and stuff to be swayed that much. That Battlefield 5 tanked. It tanked in sales. Once the buzz got around, no one wanted to touch that. It was so historically inaccurate. That just that thing crashed and burned, because gamers are a loud, vocal community and they're very niche. And no matter how many times the entertainment industry tries to do this, they are going to fail, because the only people who ever got a game adaptation right was whoever made Castlevania. That was true to the spirit of Castlevania. Like, that animation is off the hook. And I'm going to do a review on how many things they get right with that, how they blend multiple storylines. It's just a masterpiece. But it's animation. You know, it's a medium you can adapt a game to. But like the rest of it, I mean, I was a fan of Resident Evil because I love Vera Mira Zorakovich, like maybe third or fourth wife. And so I supported that franchise. It went left field and it left the narrative, but I still love those movies. I liked Silent Hill, even though it got panned. I thought it was a pretty good stab at the mythology. Um, But I mean, other than that, I went to see Doom. Okay, the fact that you're making another Doom movie, thank you, thank you. I don't know what it is about her. I buy her as an action hero. I mean, she's so charismatic as an action star. Now, Hollywood, that's a strong female right there. She just like even in real life, she comes off to me as a strong female in general. So you put her in any role, and I buy it. I buy it full force. But like I was saying, the gaming community is more niche, and with Watcher, I think that it could work because they made it episodic. And I think if the creators are smart and they change things here and there, that's fine. Some things they want to make to general audiences, and it's not going to translate well to people who haven't did the game. And that's the thing with adaptations that I said. I don't mind if you change things here and there because you're trying to reach a different audience. What I care about is if you change the characters as a core. If you think it's a good idea, then the core should be able to sell it. You can change things here and there, mix it up in the world, maybe change a character that wouldn't fit normally, but don't change the core or the story. Like who this person is, what the Watcher stands for, and their struggle. If you put that really well into a series, you can go on forever. There's so much story there. There's so many, it's such an expansive world. And Netflix has the money. They throw the money for these guys to do whatever they want. You can make it a really just Game of Thrones kind of show, but for Netflix. And Netflix can do that. They're not restricted by the rating system. They can make a straight like Game of Thrones 2.0 on that. And if they go that route, I think it's going to be a good show. And honestly, I don't know why people hate him. I love Henry Cavill. I think he's a great actor. I think he could have been a really good Superman. He just didn't have a good script. I liked Man of Steel. It's not a popular opinion. I don't care. I liked Man of Steel. People were mad when he broke Zod's neck. Look, when I saw that, yeah, yeah, I buy him. I buy him. But when he snapped Zod's neck at the end of Superman, I always thought in the original, why didn't Superman just kill this guy? I mean, honestly, and I understand his character. Superman's one of my favorite characters. I understand his character. Like that's not his bag. He's not the person who kills people. But by the end of Man of Steel, I was like, good, dude, good for you. All right, because Zod's a jerk. Um, he deserved it. Done. All right. Um, but I mean, I really thought Henry Cavill caught a lot of flack for something that was clearly poor writing and bad direction as opposed to bad acting. Yeah. you know? Yeah, it was just poor choices and they had good actors. I mean, come on, Kevin Costner, I buy him as Jonathan Kent. Kevin Costner is like, in my mind, that was wow. When I heard him as Jonathan Kent, I was like, that's Kevin Costner. All right, Kevin Costner. Look at his filmograph, and for the most part, he was amazing as Jonathan Kent. I mean, that film had so much potential in it, and I think that's what made the fans so mad is that the potential was there. I mean, the makings of a good movie were there. It was just poorly executed. And that's poor execution versus bad acting. Okay? Captain Marvel, yeah, Postman, man, that movie is so underrated. That movie, thank you. You brought me back. I might do a review on it because that movie is so underrated. And people hated Waterworld. I thought it was great. I thought the concept was ahead of its time and that no one understood it, but I did. And I was like, wow, this is really good. This is like makes you think like good on you, but it wasn't as widely embraced as other things. So anyways, as far as the getting, I got way off topic. I get nerdum when I get into these different things, but getting back to the topic, Netflix and Brie Larson, I think that this streaming movie is going to be successful, kind of like Death Note was. and Death Note was atrocious, but it was so poor, everyone wanted to see how bad this was. And God help me, they decided to make a sequel to that. Okay, because the buzz, and it wasn't good buzz, around that film was so bad. People tuned in literally. They were like, no, a movie can't be this bad. And yes, it was. Everyone, everything I ever read, hardcore Death Note fans loathed that movie. Me. Anime fans want to burn Netflix to the ground. Me. Okay? All all of the people who ever supported that were so angry. And if I get a little bit crackly here, it's because I gotta plug my phone in before she dies. So here we go. I apologize because this is gonna get weird. There we go. Take that out. All right. So anyone who ever supported Death Note hates that movie with a passion. Oh, no. That's a tough one, but I'd say I watched Dragon Ball Z Evolution about 50 times before I watched Death Note again. That's how bad that was to me. I mean, every poor decision you can make in a film was on display. Full display in that film. I've never seen so many poor choices made in my life. At least Captain Marvel made some somewhat decent decisions to back away from their position, but Death Note just went for it. They just took a shot at everything bad you could do in a film, and they just went with it. There was no shame in that director's game. Ugh. But anyways, so Netflix has their missteps, but I think them poaching high quality actors and getting Brie Larson while she's hot is a smart move. Because this is already buzzed. I mean, it's already out there. There's been 3 or 4 different people besides me that I've seen covering this. I'm kind of late to the game, but that's because I've been sick and I've been trying to get some rest. I'm literally outside of my job debating on whether or not I even have the will to go forward. But, yeah, so, in close, what do I think about this? I'm gonna watch it. Thank you, Star Wars Wiki. I do it for you guys. What do I think in close? I think that this movie is an interesting little indie piece. I enjoy indie films. This was at the Toronto Film Festival. Anyone who doesn't know, the Toronto Film Festival is the Super Bowl for independent movies. And for the most part, they are political, but not too bad. They go for the smaller guy, and I've always respected their opinion because 90% of the time, most of the films are good. Not saying all of them. Some of them I've watched and been like, why? But for the most part, they got a pretty keen eye because it's not very many elitists. You got a lot of big stars who come there to support it, but the panel is made up of, people with a real passionate eye for film. So, if they give it a seal of approval, I'll give it a shot. I've always gone with their judgment, and, it's been a hit or a miss. And based on Brie's previous small film work, I'll see if she's got more passion in this piece. And if she does, then it just goes back to my question of why she cared so much about this and doesn't care about a big moneymaker like Captain Marvel. That baffles my mind. You would think she would want to put the most into that film, seeing as to this is her launch pad, but whatever. Who knows how these stars operate? I know, right? That was what I think that was what hooked me, is that she actually has a smile, a legitimate smile. You can see the passion in the film that she actually has for this piece, and maybe it's because she's directing it. I don't know. But when it's personal to you, you can tell. When someone personally has a stake in what they're doing, you can see it in their acting. And that's what I see. I see an actual passion about this movie. And my friend likes unicorns, so she'll kill me if I don't give this fair shake. And, I like the premise. on its own. So I'll give it a shot and see what I think about it, and I'll come back here and report to you guys, let you guys know, give you the 411 on what I think of this movie. But anyways, I'm gonna go and douse myself in cold medicine, and I'm gonna try to retain some of my voice back. Thank you, Star Wars. I'm gonna try to retain some of the voice that I once had. Oh, I'm never gonna shill. You guys heard me on Angus. You've heard me on my channel several times. I'm sure by my opinion, the media has already put me in a box of a guy who will never shill for them, or at least not successfully. Oh, thank you, $3. It's it's a process. We all get sick working with kids. It's just what happens. Like, sickness bounces from kid to kid to kid, and you kind of take the good with the bad. I've built up immunity to most things, but when the new cold comes around, I'm like the first one to get it. So, but getting back to what Star Wars Wookiee said, I'll never shill for the media ever. I don't care if I get at 1,000 subscribers. Thanks. I don't care if I get 1,000 subscribers or not. I will never put up money or things over what I feel, because I personally can't. It makes me sick. It physically makes me ill to say something that is not true, especially about entertainment, because I'm so passionate about it. And it might be to my detriment, or it might not. I mean, when I came out with the piece about true feminism, I lost like 2 subscribers, and then I gained 1 or 2, so I was just like, hey, whatever, you guys don't like what I put out on the channel, then you guys haven't been watching, because I'm going to just do me, and I cater to my small base. I don't cater to these people who just jump on and want me to say whatever, The true people who have been following me consistently and who have been helping me out, those are the people that I make these videos for. Those are the people that I talk to, because those are the people who understand where I'm coming from, or I could debate friendly with, Other people who just like jump onto your channel and they give you the likes and they watch you and then they get mad because you have one opposite opinion. Thank you, Star Wars. The people who jump in and they give you, a subscription, and then you make a video once and they're like, oh my goodness, why did he say that? I love this so much. Well, you know what? This is what this community is about. We're about having a difference of opinion. I'm not always going to agree with, like, say, Angus or Immortal or Shellback or any of these other people who I talk with. We're not always going to agree with everything, but what makes us so close is the fact that we all respect and understand that we're not going to agree with everyone, but the core, what we all love, is in danger, and that's why we came together. Because no matter what our background is, no matter what our field of topic is, we all share one opinion. We don't like where our respective media is going. And that's what it all comes down to with Netflix and Disney and all of that. We're sending a message to each of them that we don't like where entertainment in general is going. Things we grew up with, things that we love and know are changing, and we don't like the direction it's changing in. And as a community, we can all agree with that one sentiment. We all share the same opinion that we don't like where our platforms are going, because it's what we love to do. We all don't have much time, but yet we do these things because they give us a break. They give us a way out of our respective reality. So we have an hour or 2 hours to just chill and vibe, maybe watch a movie, maybe play a video game, maybe read a comic book that we want to read or watch. And what these guys don't understand is that they're destroying the things that we love. Our community is about friendly debating, but it's about friendly debating about things that we love to debate about. And at the end of the day, we can all be friends about it because we're logical, rational, thinking people who have good points. And these people... $3 slice. Come on, don't bring Minecraft into this. You're going to get me on a rant here. Minecraft. My daughter loves Minecraft. I don't get it. Maybe the Modern Warfare guy in me just can't understand how a game with no real objective got so popular, but that's a rant for another day. We will have a lively debate, $3, on my reasonings for not liking Minecraft. It's like Dora or any of those cartoons. When you watch them 150 times, you kind of build a hatred for that. Star Wars Wookiee, you know what I'm talking about, yeah. But yeah, getting back to this thing, do I think that Brie Larson will necessarily be bad in everything she does? No. She's going to have some things that she is not going to be horrible at. Those are things she's passionate about. She's not passionate about the MCU. That's clear. That's abundantly clear. She does not care about the MCU whatsoever. She looks bored. She's very blasé about interviews. She does not know anything about the character except for probably what she Googled. I don't even think she's read a comic. She just comes like from a very artsy, like high on her horse kind of perspective. And that's why people don't like Brie Larson. Because she can't even fake it good. Like, she comes off like very snotty about different things. And not just about her character, but about like other people in that realm. It's hilarious. I mean, she is snotty to co-workers. She is snotty to people defending her. Yeah, you know, it's amazing. Like, I've never seen someone who has gotten so many people to hate her. And Zachary Levi, okay, I want to talk about Zachary Levi because I'm an avid defender of him, and it might not be the popular opinion, but like I said, me. I know Zachary Levi from Chuck and from other pieces he's done. He did a great movie called, I believe it was 23 Hours, and it was based on a real operation I know that was undertaken by the military, and I knew some friends of mine and some good buddies who were a part of that. And Zachary Levi was so respectful to that material, and he talked with soldiers and things like that. Zachary Levi in real life strikes me as just a decent guy. And the backlash that he's caught and, you know, white knighting, which I understand where people are coming from with that. I don't think it's necessarily him standing up for a competitor or a woman or whatever else people are labeling. I just think he's a nice guy trying to do the good thing and come to an aid of an actor or an actress because he cares about what he does. He cares about the roles he does. He cares about acting, and he cares about film. And that's evident by his acting. Okay, the man puts everything he has into a role. And for that part, I respect him. Because I think, honestly, legitimately, it's just him being who he is in real life. And that's a good, kind of funny, like the best friend kind of vibe. And the fact, Brie, the fact that this man has come under fire twice to defend you, and you give him, yeah, yeah, he has a specific charm as he acts. There's just something about him that makes you like him. And even off screen, I've seen interviews and stuff, he never says, oh, excuse me, he never says anything that is too agenda driven. And I think that he sees the rivalry between Marvel and DC, and he's trying to come at it as like, hey, you guys should look at these as films, and you know, not necessarily putting them into boxes. You know, I just want to get along with everyone kind of vibe. And you know what? I don't fault him for that. I really don't. I understand if he's a good person and he's trying to like be like, hey, can't we all just get along? I respect that. You know, that's a decent human emotion. So I mean, I don't like the bit about trolls. I don't think he really understands how trigger that word is. But I mean, as a human being, I don't see him as this like, Hollywood elitist trying to throw his 2 cents in. I just think he wants to promote his movie. He's getting tired of asking questions about Captain Marvel, and he wants people to focus on, Shazam, the film he's in. And, he's trying to deflect the best that he can. And the poor guy knew that taking this role, he was going to come under that kind of fire, being so close to Captain Marvel, you know, and by extension, he's getting the backlash. It's really not fair. It's not fair to his film or to him as an actor. He's taking on a different role. He didn't pick where DC decided to place this thing. Yeah, he's handling it in the proper way. Thank you, Star Wars Wiki. I agree. He's handling it the best and most professional that he can. Now, if he came out like Brie Larson and said, I'm for a strong female empowered film and all this nonsense, which he's never said, okay? I think a lot of what he said has been taken by the media out of context, and we've seen those masters at work with that first interview and how they twisted his words, okay? They are purposely trying to make him a poster boy for Captain Marvel to prop up Captain Marvel. And when you think about that whole concept, that's really, really terrible. They are indirectly using him to shelter Brie. He's like the cover fire for all of the nonsense that Brie has been preaching. So, I mean, it's a terrible lot to be in, and I don't fault the man for trying to have the stance of, yeah, let's just let it die down. Go see my movie. It's a fun time. What about me? Poor guy. What about his film? I mean, come on. I've heard good things about it already. Nerdjotic did a great review on it. And I trust Nerd. If he says that it's a great movie, I'm going to go and see it, and I'm going to be happy to see it. I was already jazzed up, just from the trailers. I thought it was brave and bold for DC to go in a different direction. I thought it was smart that they have this reputation of making dark stuff. And from what I hear, dark stuff is still in it, but it's lighthearted. And this is the balance we've waited for in the DCU universe. This is what we've waited for. We've waited for that mix of lighthearted yet dark. And you can do it. And apparently they do it well in this film. And I am so excited to support this movie. And I will do a review that night. I know. Nerdrotic is so great at doing reviews. He makes me angry sometimes because he so well articulates things, and I did my Us review, and it was so hard for me not to give spoilers on that movie, which I will be doing a spoiler review and a deep dive into the plots and the themes of the film and the things that work for me, which was just about everything, and what doesn't, which was a small bit, and telling you guys about that once it's been out a little bit. I think I'm gonna wait till probably the end of this week to post that review. But in close, Brie is still one of my top 10 most hated people in the world, and I still don't support her, but I support a film. So anyone who watches this, I'm not on the Brie train, never have been, never will be, but I will still support movies in general and ideas in general. I will support what film is as an art. I don't care about the person that's in it necessarily until I see it. Now, if they interject themselves in the role, like she did with Captain Marvel, then I will tell you. But if it's a film and it just happens to star that person, I'll still give it a fair shake, because that's what movies are about. They've never been about the actor, and that's what Hollywood doesn't get. It's not about the actor, it's about the movie. It's about what the movie is telling us and what they're trying to say. Now, you're always going to have people interject their thoughts, but it's whether or not they make Mary Sue's and things like that, and they make the whole thing a think piece, or whether or not They are simply telling a story. And that is what I'm for. I'm for the art of telling story. And if you can do that effectively, then despite what it's about, I'll give it a fair shot. But if you can't, then I'm going to let you know, and I'm going to be the loudest, most vocal person about it. So thank you, everyone, because this was supposed to be a short rant, and I literally drove all the way here. First, car video driving, woot. I just want to let you guys know, thank you. If you like this, hit that melee button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you have any ideas about things you want me to do, leave them in the comments below so I can read them and remember them. And I'll go back and try to do a review on a film that you like, because I'm about interaction here on the channel, and I want to know things you guys want me to review and give you my thoughts and opinions on them, because you care enough to watch me. So, thank you very much. Love all of you guys. Till the next time, this is Lee, Cole the Fourth, and I am already here at the movies, and pretty soon I'm going to have a plush Goose the Cat. Thank you, Star Wars Wookiee. I will have a cat, and I will bring him to the camera, and we'll say, me, Goose, we'll see you at the movies. Okay, working on that. I just ordered, and people are going to crucify me for this. I ordered that plush Goose the Cat with the things coming out of his mouth. I got that on order. That's going to be like one of my most prized possessions besides my John Wick coin. Hold on. My coin is so cool, I had to... Yeah, I know. I did it, Star Wars Wookiee. I've got 2 props now. I got my coffee cup for the soy prop, and I've got Goose coming for my outro. But yeah, so this right here is another thing that I got, and it is so I can get into the Continental over at the John Wick verse. So like I said, if I'm passionate about something, I'm passionate, man. I got John Wick's coins and all that. So later today, or maybe tonight, I'm gonna do leading up to celebrating the 3rd John Wick. Yes, Goose will take the spotlight, because that's what Goose does, man. He saves movies. I want to see Reggie the Cat in more film. I will watch everything Reggie is in, because he's a consummate actor. That cat is going places. Mark my words, that cat is going to be somebody. You know, he's going to be, and he's not going to be a Hollywood elitist, I can tell you that. Just from looking at Reggie, he seems like a stand-up kind of cat, you know. Someone I'd hang out with, have a couple drinks with, talk about the industry. So Reggie, if you're out there, man, get on the horn. This is your biggest agent right here. I will self-promote you here on the channel. But anyways, darn, I just got way off base here. So this was supposed to be my outro. But anyways, as always, me, Goose, aka Reggie the Cat, will see you at the films. Everybody take care of yourselves and each other. Peace.